all-time great liberos or liberos, or in the USA gym we just say bros, in the USA program was Nicole Davis. And one day we were able to borrow some special goggles and a special device from a local university that would actually track where her eyes were, where her gaze went, what her eyes were specifically looking at. So you can ignore the purple here, or whatever color that is. I'm a little colorblind, but I think I got this part right. The red, the four cross marks are telling us where Nicole Davis is focusing. So let's start with this rally. We're going to go in slow motion, and right now she's looking at a hitter, at a ball, and her gaze is actually focusing on the space between the two. But here comes a play, and here comes the pass. And notice the ball is not even in the frame yet, but Nicole is not, or Coley, that's what we called her when she was on our USA team, but Coley was not focused on this play on the ball, even though it's not even in the frame. She's looking at who is going to move that ball next, and that's her setter, who happens to be Molly Kreklow in this one, in this whole video. Anyway, so she's focusing on the next mover of the ball. And here it goes, the set goes up, she follows the ball for a second, and then notice the ball is still up. We can see the bottom half of it here. Is she looking at the ball? No. Is she looking at her own slide hitter? No. What she's looking at is what she's going to have to respond to next, because her biggest job, her next job, is to cover her hitter. Where is it going to come off of if she covers? It's going to come off the blocker. So she has her eyes on the blocker. In general, great readers of the game put their eyes as quickly as possible to the next toucher of the ball. Okay, so we'll go on to a more normal play here. Coley focusing on the passer and her platform. Here it comes, the serve came over and the passer made a pass. Coley, if you saw it, I'm going to go back there for a second. Watch as this ball goes up. The red crosshairs followed the ball, and then by this time Coley already knows that the ball is not going to come over to her side of the net. That's an important thing to figure out, because if it is going to come over, she's going to want to take that, unless it's really close to the net, at which point she's going to want to tell one of her blockers, hey, you take care of that overpass. Anyway, that's not happening. So now she gets to put her eyes on the next actor on the ball, which is the opposing setter. Watch, she's staying on that for a long time. Setter, setter, setter. And then she changes her gaze a little, because there's a lot going on here. There is a middle hitter that she might have to defend. There is the setter, and finally the balls come into play. Here we go. Middle hitter does get set. Oops, we didn't handle that one very well, so we're going to have to reset as our defender sent the ball back over the net. Here's a pass, and notice this time, Coley, after the ball is still out of the picture, but she takes a quick look at this middle. Why do you think she would take a look there? Well, I'll answer it, and that is, she has to figure out what route that middle is going to run. Is that middle going to run something more in the center of the court? Or is that middle going to run something more into the space between blockers? So she takes a quick look to get a better sense of what that middle's going to do. That would be the first attack coming at her from the offense. After she gets that, she's on the setter, on the setter, on the setter, and then watch how quickly the ball is not even at its height yet, but Coley has already gotten her gaze and locked it onto the hitter. Notice how little she is ball watching. Most beginners look at the ball a lot. She's looking at the ball very little, because the ball can't go to her unless somebody moves it. So she's looking at the next actor on the ball. Okay, we dug that ball over and out, so we get one more look at this. Pass goes up. Colleen already ascertains that it's not coming over, so she's looking at the setter, and there goes the set. It's not even at the top of its arc, and she's already locked her gaze onto the hitter. When she looks at the setter longer and the hitter longer, she can get clues from each of them about what's going to happen next. So this is huge. This is a big lesson for coaches and players to try to lock onto the right things, the things that are going to give us really valuable information, and look at those for a longer period of time, and all the other stuff that doesn't tell us as much for a much shorter period of time.